Please welcome to the podium, J.C. Rogers.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, JC. I would like to ask Bud Lane to come forward. Bud is a member of the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians and serves on Tribal Council. Please remain standing as Bud conducts the invocation.
Quadisham Eifnun Huidayamte Wan Genachua. Creator of all things, everything we want and we need, we pray to you for it. We give you thanks for this day of recognition for our young people and their achievement. We also give you thanks for the many blessings that you pour out on us here in the Northwest. We thank you for the clean water that we have and for all of the other resources that you provide us in our daily food. We thank you for our young people who have got to this point in their schooling, and we ask that you be with them and guide them. They're our future leaders. They're the people who will take us forward, and we need them to look forward and to think generations ahead for our peoples. We ask that everyone here in attendance be blessed this evening. We thank all the families for being here. Creator, just put your hands on them and bless them and everybody else in attendance tonight. We thank you for all the things that you give to us. Huitai, shutnuhwa sintla, shutnuhwa ninla, nunhuchangwa ditlesthat. All good things you have placed here for us, and we thank you for it. Amen.
Color guard, you may post the flags. You may be seated. The Indian Education's Parents Advisory Committee has made gifts for this evening's volunteers. Thank you, Bud, Jonah I, the Color Guard, J.C. Rogers, and Chris Cherry for being here to honor our students. This year, we have one of our larger graduating classes with 42 students completing high school. This class also has a high percentage of Indian education students who have participated in the program activities such as summer school, Thursday evening family nights, and some as early as elementary school. It is exciting to see the growth in this program and the resulting growth in the lives of these students. Our graduates have reached a milestone in their lives where they will make a leap from adolescence to adulthood. What paths they choose in the next few years will impact the rest of their lives. Because we are honoring them, we need to also honor and thank the people who were instrumental in making this evening happen. Parents, we thank you for your support for your children in their academic endeavors. Elders, we thank you all for being here and supporting our program. You are needed to provide guidance from all the wisdom you have gained. Chuck Lee, one of the school board directors for the Salem-Keizer Public Schools, thank you for being here and for your support. Our school district superintendent, Christy Perry, we greatly appreciate your support at the district level. Kelly Carlisle, assistant superintendent for the district, thank you for being here to honor our students. The Director of Instructional Services, Neil Anderson, the support you have provided for our program has been truly amazing. Thank you. K-12 Grants Planning and Support Coordinator, Melissa Wisner. We appreciate your input and leadership, and we look forward to growing with you as you lend your support and expertise to our team. Indian Education staff, Shelby Olson-Rogers is the program assistant for the Indian Education program. She puts together the various programs such as Thursday evening, family nights, and summer school, which make Indian education so effective for our students. She also writes grants to provide funding for these events. Shelby is the person through whom we are able to obtain eagle feathers for tonight's gifting of the graduates. Cheryl Peck is the home school liaison. She works with our seniors to assist them in the high school graduation process and beyond. Cheryl also heads up our cultural arts program and keeps families informed of opportunities through listserv and newsletter announcements. Hal Kepper was the Indian Education Instructional Assistant for the first part of the year before moving on to a job in his chosen field of engineering, career field of engineering. Hal checked in with the students in the schools to connect them to available services and programs. His engineering background provided him with the skills needed to be our valued math tutor. Sarah Gray Wheeler is our highly appreciated and very hardworking secretary. All of her behind-the-scenes efforts to keep Indian education organized and running smoothly and looking good. All of this accompanied by a great positive attitude, and even where there are 15 tasks to do at once, she is so grateful to lend a hand and an additional secretarial support of Jennifer Colton, whose help was essential this year as we added responsibilities in developing fourth grade curriculum on Oregon's 9 federally recognized tribes. We would also like to honor the following groups of people. I would like to acknowledge the other members of the Parents Advisory Committee: Michael Cherry, Sarah Harvey, Miranda Foss, Susie Hosey, Allison Gunter, Sarai Garaido, Becky Eastland, and Ashley Leedy, and all the parents who have supported them. These people conducted many meetings and assisted with preparations for this evening's celebration. The Siletz Tribal Charitable Contributions Fund once again provided a generous grant to purchase materials for the Pendleton stoles that you will see our graduates wearing. In addition, the grant covers food and printing costs. We appreciate their continued support of our Native students. Johanna they are volunteering their time and efforts this evening. The Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde's Color Guard for presenting the flags. Also tonight, I have seen several people from our local tribal councils. If you are a tribal council member, please stand. We are honored to have each and every one of you here supporting our graduates. Thank you. I would now like to thank our keynote speaker, Liz Bahi, for taking time out from her busy schedule to honor us with a few words of wisdom. Liz Bahi is Navajo and Lac du Flambeau Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. She originates from the southwest part of Navajo Reservation, from an area known as, and I hope I don't mess this up, Sosila Star Mountain. Her daughters, Haley and Jasmine, respectively attend West Salem High School and Harrod Elementary. She receives her baccalaureate and master's degree from Northern Arizona University and is a PhD student at Colorado State University. She currently serves as the Director for Native American Programs at Willamette University. Liz has a background that entails working in a diversity of environments that include community colleges, nonprofit organizations, universities, and tribal colleges. She has served in positions where she has developed and implemented student support and outreach programs for high school and college students from a variety of socioeconomic backgrounds. These programs have served a wide range of populations, on a tribal, statewide, and national level. Liz, thank you for sharing tonight with us. Liz Bahi, please come to the podium.
Yeah. Yat Trahasinlo, Shea Liz Bahi and Shia, Kia Ani Nashlado or Jibboy Bashes Chin, not on Natra Chine Dashe Dobalagana Dashanella, Shalchina A. Haley do Jasmine Ulia, Haley A. West Halem High School de Ultra, do Jasmine A. Harrod Elementary School de Ultra. Sonsala Arizona Dan Etna de Kre. At A. Salem, Oregon, de Nihiran, Adelia. Shannon Nish, A. Director of Native American Programs, Willamette University, A. Banashnish, Ada A. Ultra Anishla. Njonago do Bashalhojogo, Ada Nashnish. Thank you to the Indian Education Services and Parent Advisory Committee for inviting me to speak at this Eagle Feather graduation celebration. I always introduce myself in Navajo. That is something that is deeply ingrained in who I am as a person. I have been asked in other places as to why I do that, as there may not be any Navajos in the crowd. And if there are, they may not necessarily understand what I am saying. But that is first and foremost about who I am, and what has gotten me through this world is knowing my origins. Knowing where I come from, and with my introductions is acknowledging who came before me. It is also about the respect I have for all of you. I gave my 4 clans in Navajo. I am Navajo on my mother's side, and I was raised in that culture. On my father's side, I am Lac du Flambeau, Lake Superior Band of Chippewa. I do like to acknowledge both of my bloodlines, although I'm more versed in Navajo and my family on that side. In Navajo, children are raised within the circle of their mother's family, as I was. I grew up living in an area on the southwest part of the Navajo Reservation known as Sonsala, Star Butte, Star Mountain. It is very much a large influence on why I do what I do today. The role I have at Willamette University as the Director of Native American Programs. I have the responsibility of creating a support center for Native American students and outreach center to the tribes of Oregon. It is a huge responsibility I've been given. And I appreciate these experiences. The 2 primary ones right now are to direct programs that are in place, coordinate them, and to create new programs for Native students. The other hat I wear is that of a teacher, faculty. I teach courses that have a mix of covering pivotal moments of the history of Indian education in the United States. I have the responsibility of mentoring and teaching undergraduate students from non-native backgrounds who tutor at Chemawa Indian School. Again, it is an interesting experience, and it is one I highly appreciate because it challenges me, but it also reaffirms the experiences I have had along my personal, educational, and professional path. I was raised by a single mother, along with the help of my maternal grandparents, when my mother could not provide for me herself. My origin is embedded with the many different influences that they provided for me. My introduction is an example of that. As a child, I was told, you have to know who you are. In knowing who you are, you acknowledge who came before you. You acknowledge who you originate from. That is why you say your clans no matter where you are. No matter if it's in front of a crowd of people who speak no Navajo, you still introduce yourself in that manner. You have the responsibility to inform everyone where you come from and where you are going to, and as you are going to find out, is what my grandmother told me, you are going to find out who you are connected to, who your relations are, and that ties you back to where you come from. So as I mentioned, I come from an area of the Navajo Reservation. I mention this area because it is impactful and pivotal in my history and how I have come from Sontsela to here, to Salem, Oregon, and why I'm standing here in front of you. The area I originate from was embroiled in a battle since the early 1940s and continued through the 1990s with the Arizona State Supreme Court and the United States federal government for the lands my ancestors were raised on and where they raised their children at, where I was raised at. My relatives provided court testimonials in these court systems as a means to stay where we came from, to stay in the place they had been born at, the place that was our foundation, the land base that we come from. In this time, I grew up as a young child and early teen. Right as I entered my teen years, my grandfather was asked to provide testimonials in a court session, a series of sessions. I'm very proud of my grandfather for having done this because his testimonials were all provided in Navajo. He spoke no English. He spoke 3 languages and English was not one of them. He never went through a formal Western education system. He was raised away from those systems. He was formally educated, though. His education began at 6 years of age. He was educated in the ways of a medicine man for different ceremonies in Navajo culture. So I look at that as my motivation as to why I entered college. No one in my family had graduated from a college, had no associate's degree, no baccalaureate degree, no graduate degree. More than half of my family members still do not have a high school diploma. So going back into this history of the land that I come from, and that is land that was fought for in the state Supreme Court system, where eventually we were mandated by the federal government and the Arizona state government to be removed from our land base. At the time, when I was 13, and my grandfather gave these testimonials, I was asked, then I was told, that it was my responsibility to accompany him. I was the one who would read the paperwork that came in for my family because of my reading ability. I would translate what was written in English into Navajo. My family decided I would be the person to accompany my grandfather to his court sessions. So I did that. I was not the only one. There were a number of grandchildren and children of these people who were taken in a court system where they had no familiarity with, no experience with interacting in that manner, who were required to look at thick legal documents and have some understanding of it. So at 13, although I understood some of what was written in these documents, and I could try to explain, I didn't have that ability at that time to fully do that. I was smart enough to realize at that time that had there been somebody in my family who had an educational background to understand these legal documents, who could have gone around to these homes and explained what was in them, but done it from a perspective that was from a person that came from those lands, then what was in those documents would have been translated accurately, truthfully. Many times when these documents were translated, they were not translated in a way that was truthful. There were a number of families, grandparents, aunts, and uncles in this valley that we lived at that signed away their rights to their land base, not understanding what and how that was going to impact them in the future. What I saw as a result of that is that they lost the historical connection to the land, the ties to it. The land was a huge part of the landscape that taught them to be who they were as people. Their interaction they had with that land is what gave them the foundation to be the people that they were. How we were taught between right and wrong, how we were taught about where we came from, and what we were taught about our responsibilities was a result of that land. When we lost that, it created these disruptions in families. It created these waves that broke apart. Centuries of connections were disconnected within a very short time period. Now, as a result of that, a number of us live hundreds of miles apart from one another, and we have no land base to return to. So for me, when I think about motivation, when I think about education for Native people and why I do what I do, is because I look at what I came from. I look at who I came from and know that because my family entrusted me to understand these documents at an age that I could barely understand what was in them, I had a responsibility to get my education. Education was middle school, high school, my bachelor's, my master's, my PhD. I realized that I had an ability to come into a Western education structured classroom and I could learn. I could learn words, I could learn the meaning to them, and I could learn their impact. Although that time passed, the time period where I could be part of influencing how things were going to impact my family during that time, if I knew what I know now, I think my family could have had a chance. I think my family could still be connected in a way that they were. That is a powerful thought to have. I've been seeking pointers as how to speak to seniors who have reached this peak of accomplishment. How I present what I'm going to say, and what was I going to say. I was told to be humorous, and don't start with a lame joke. So I thought about it, and I chose instead to look at this as an opportunity to share my narrative, my story. I have had challenges. I have mistakes I have made. And it's knowing that there's always going to be challenges on my path and that I am going to continue making mistakes. That is life. I have been fortunate to be able to learn from the mistakes I have made and address it and figure a way past it so it benefits me and it doesn't hurt me anymore. I have also looked at it as a way of developing who I am going to be for the future, who I'm going to be for my children, who I'm going to be for my grandchildren. As I was reminded growing up, I come from a long line of people who went through life, who struggled, and in that struggling and their overcoming adversity, it has brought me here before all of you. As you contemplate your future, there are things for you to think about. What are your responsibilities? From where you come from who you come from. How do you best represent the best interest of who you come from? But how do you best represent your future generation of people that will come from you? The challenges that you are going to go through, the adversity that you are going to overcome, all of those things that are meant to test, to build your character, to have you understand the kind of person you are. As you go through that, those are lessons you learn that you pass on to the next generation. And what you bring with you is what was brought to you from your ancestors, from the long line of people who came forward to have you here today. When I look at this, when I look at the responsibilities I have, there are moments on my path I have wanted to sit down, wanted to quit, wanted to let go. But my motivation is about what I grew up with, the responsibilities that were entrusted with me, of the expectations that were told to me. And I know I can't sit down. I can't stop doing what I do. I have to get up each day, and I have to find a reason to figure out the challenges that are there. When I left high school, I was a good student. I entered college, but my mistakes led me to leaving college after the first year. Because I quit, I decided it wasn't for me. It wasn't about me, and I went to work. Yet I had a person who believed in me. She was a Catholic nun who worked for the Johnson O'Malley program in our public school district, Sister Michael. She brought me back to that place, who told me, "Do you remember where you come from? Do you remember what your people went through? You have had some troubles. Think about it. Take some time, but don't walk away from it. When you're ready, you're going to overcome that. When you overcome that, whatever it is that stopped you from finishing school, you're going to go back and you'll finish." Sister Michael was right. I took a year off of college. I took time to think. I helped my mother pay bills. But then in that course of time, I had this realization that I had started this path and I needed to continue on it. My motivation was my family and my ancestors, so I continued. So that is why I'm standing here today talking with you. I appreciate having your attention. I appreciate having been asked to provide this speech for you, these stories I gave you today. Thank you very much. Ahiaha.
Thank you, Liz. Now we come to the main reason we are here, our graduates. Please stand for the honor song. I would like to ask Shelby Olson Rogers, Steve Bobb, Michael Cherry, Susie Hosey, and Megan Gunter to come forward at this time to present to the graduates.
You may all be seated. Our first graduate is Justin Bostwick. Justin is from Roberts High School. He is the son of Larry Bostwick Jr. Justin is from the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. Justin would like to acknowledge Dean Lorman at Downtown Learning Center for his help. He intends to go to college, possibly for a career in medicine. Justin would like to thank his brother Jesse for his help and Jody Fullerton for being an inspiration and a butt kicker. Justin Bostwick. Rachel Campbell. Guess she didn't make it here tonight. Danielle Cisneros. Danielle is from Roberts High School. She is the daughter of Jack and Karen Cerna. Danielle is from the Burns Paiute tribe. She doesn't have any definite plans yet, but would like to work with students at Shamawa. Danielle was involved with her church group and Young Life during high school. She would like to thank her husband, Miguel Cisneros, and her daughter, Kimberly, for supporting her while she finished school. Danielle Cisneros. Amanda Deese. Amanda is from McNary High School. She is the daughter of Christy and Gary Deese. Amanda's tribal affiliation is Navajo. Amanda enjoys swimming and art. She was an Indian education summer school student worker her junior year. She would like to thank Mr. Gary Bolin, her psychology and history teacher, and Mrs. Carla Bell, her English teacher, for their support. Amanda will continue to pursue swimming and would like to work with children. She would like to thank her mom and dad for their support. Amanda Deese. Tyler Johnson Const. Well, I guess she wasn't able to make it, so Ashley Kane. Ashley is from McNary High School. She is the daughter of Nicole Kane and Brian Self. Ashley's tribal affiliation is Hoopa. She would like to acknowledge her counselor, Mr. Doyle, who was a big help after her move to Salem last year. During high school, Ashley made the honor roll every year. She got the Slugger Award in softball during her sophomore year, and last year she took part in outdoor school. She plans on going to school for forestry and to play softball. Ashley would like to thank her family for everything they do and for pushing her to do her best and never give up. Ashley Kane. Cassandra Korn. Cassandra is from South Salem High School. She is the daughter of Sandra Watson and Dennis Korn, and the granddaughter of Robert Lawson and Vera Miller. Her tribal affiliation is the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde. Cassie was in the National Honor Society during high school. She would like to be a producer and has been accepted at Columbia College, Hollywood, a film school in California. Cassandra Korn. Caden Leno. Caden is from West Salem High School. He is the son of Chris Leno and Michael Cherry, and the grandson of Bob Leno and Janelle Stuckey, and Candy and Jess Robertson. Caden is from the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde. During high school, he participated in basketball and attended powwows and the summer youth program at Grand Ronde. Caden plans to major in business at Chemeketa Community College, where he will get his transfer degree to a 4-year college. He would like to thank his mom, dad, and sister for motivating him to graduate. Caden Leno. Delaney Lawrence. Delaney is from McNary High School. He is the son of Carrie Lawrence and the grandson of Marty and Joe Snow. Delaney's tribal affiliation is Tlingit Haida. In his spare time, he enjoys riding on his longboard skateboard. Delaney appreciated the help of Jennifer Demalgalski, who works in Mr. Gontz's class. After high school, he would like to go to school to become a pyrotechnician. Delaney would like to thank his family and teachers who have helped him out. Delaney Lawrence. Desiree Lazaraga. Desiree is from McKay High School. She is the daughter of Carmel Balbaneda and the granddaughter of Kathleen Balbaneda. Desiree's tribe is Grand Portage Chippewa. During high school, she was in concert choir and the theater program. Desiree plans to go to college to become a high school teacher, either for English or biology. She would like to thank all the women in her family for being amazing role models in her life. Desiree would especially like to thank her mom and grandma for always doing their best in raising her to be the person she is today. And she would like to thank her grandparents for loving her and being there when she needed them. Desiree Lazaraga. Rayleigh Meyer. Rayleigh is from McKay High School. She is the daughter of Cheryl DeFrance and Sheldon Meyer, and is the granddaughter to Phyllis and Travis Benoist. Her tribal affiliation is Salish Kootenai. Rayleigh would like to acknowledge Ms. Moore, her math teacher, Ms. Johnston, her English teacher, and Mr. Scott, her math teacher, for helping her to realize her potential and act on it. She is planning to go to college and is already enrolled, but along with going to school, she wants to start her career as a welder. Rayleigh would like to thank her mother and sister for their support. She says of her mother, "We had our ups and downs, we fought and yelled. However,
She was the only one that stuck by me by putting up with me and pushed me to achieve my goals even if I did not want it at the time. Rayleigh Meyer. Addie Mason. Addie is from West Salem High School. She is the daughter of Kelly and Eve Mason and the granddaughter of Emmeline Nelson and Linda and Larry Dooley. She is from the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. Addie is in choir and has also been involved in the drama department. Addie would like to extend her appreciation towards all her great high school teachers. She plans to attend Chemeketa Community College for 2 years and will transfer to a 4-year college from there. Addie would like to thank her family for their support. Addie Mason. Destiny Matthews. Destiny is also from West Salem High School. She is the daughter of Fawn Glover and Paul Matthews, and the granddaughter of Cheryl Ben and Maria Matthews. Her tribal affiliation is the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. Throughout high school, Destiny was a member of both choir and band. She would like to thank her math teacher, Mr. Garvin, and her music teacher, Mr. Hortichok. Destiny plans to go to community college, and then she'd like to transfer to Southern Oregon University, where she would like to pursue a career in either law enforcement or health and fitness. Destiny would like to thank her mother and grandmothers, her Aunt Brooke and Uncle Sean, her father and stepmother Mindy, and her stepfather Mark. They have all been there for her, shaping who she is as a person and motivating her to keep going. Destiny Matthews. Angela McFarland. Angela is from Sprague High School. She is the daughter of Donald McFarland and Joella Oatman, and the granddaughter of Maya Bascala and Cecil Oatman, and Don and Alice McFarland. Angela is Nez Perce. During high school, she participated in environmental club and French club. A teacher she especially appreciated is Mr. Darren, who boosted her self-confidence using math after her dad died. Mr. Darren inspired her to constantly look at the world from a new perspective and support her reasoning with an easily understood, justifiable argument. Angela's future direction could be in environmental sciences, history, or psychology. She would like to thank her mom and family for always encouraging and supporting her. Angela McFarland. Nicholas Myholer. Nicholas is from Sprague High School. He is the son of Melinda and Stephen Myholer and the grandson of Stan Worth. Nicholas is from the Confederated Tribes of Siletz. Nicholas played on the varsity soccer team, and this year they had their first winning season. He would like to acknowledge Brian Hatzengeeler as someone whose help he appreciated. Nicholas plans to join the Air Force after graduation. Nicholas Myholer. Alfredo Montez. Alfredo is from Roberts High School. He is the son of Carmen Romero and the grandson of Betty Matz. His tribal affiliation is Yurok. After high school, Alfredo will be enrolling in the nursing program at Chemeketa Community College. He would like to extend his appreciation towards his mom, his Aunt Yolanda, and his Uncle Nigel for always being there and being supportive. Alfredo Montez. Janice Nelson. Janice is from McNary High School. She is the daughter of Terry McSmith and Philip Nelson Jr. and is the granddaughter of Janice Nelson and Philip Nelson Sr. Janice is from the Klamath tribes. Janice had good grades and kept up a high GPA all through high school. She would like to acknowledge her teachers, Mr. Borison, Mr. Glodden, and Mr. Colley. After graduation, Janice plans to focus on art, as she likes to paint and draw. She would like to thank her grandmother, mother, and father for their support. Janice Nelson. Mia O'Connell. Mia is from North Salem High School. She is the daughter of Susie Hosey and Bill O'Connell, and the granddaughter of Greta Hosey and Maki O'Connell. Her tribal affiliation is Arikara of the 3 affiliated tribes. During high school, Mia was involved in many activities and events, including Indian Education Summer Program, the Salem Hoopla basketball event, the Community Clean-Up Program, delivering holiday baskets to needy families, and the Awesome 3000 event put on by the Salem Kaiser Education Foundation. Mia also played on the basketball team for North. She would like to acknowledge Mrs. Gordon, her English teacher, for being so helpful. Mia's future plans are to go to Chemeketa Community College, where she will play basketball and work towards becoming a dentist. Mia would like to thank her family and friends for always being there for her. Mia O'Connell. Cheyenne Stewart. Cheyenne is from Sprague High School. She is the daughter of Eloise Stewart and granddaughter of Eloise Kellogg. Her tribal affiliation is Navajo. She would like to acknowledge the help of her ASL teacher, Ms. Hatfield. Cheyenne is planning on attending Chemeketa Community College. She would like to thank her brother and sister-in-law, William and Tiffany, and her best friends, Maddie and Leslie, for their support. Cheyenne Stewart. Karina Tapia. Karina is from Roberts High School. She is the daughter of Alexandria Smith and the granddaughter of Geneva Charlie. Karina is from the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs. Throughout high school, Karina has participated in varsity soccer and softball, the Young Lives program, and she was on the student government and prom committee. She would like to extend her appreciation for the help of her awesome teacher, Mrs. Ashley Leety. Karina plans on attending Chemeketa Community College to work towards a career in the medical field. She would like to extend a special thanks to her family for always supporting her. Karina Tapia. Taylor Van Norman. Nope. Cameron Vrell. Cameron is from Sprague High School. He is the son of Sean Burrell and Dana Libby, and the grandson of Kay and Bruce Burrell. His tribal affiliation is the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Cameron enjoys playing sports and video games and working on cars. A teacher whose help he appreciated is Ms. Dowell. Cameron plans on being an auto mechanic. Cameron Vrail. Haley Walling. Haley is from North Salem High School. She is the daughter of Julaine and Nolan Walling. Haley is from the Yakima Nation. During high school, Haley was involved with Future Business Leaders of America. She would like to thank one of her favorite teachers, her business teacher, Mr. Abel, who provided a lot of help. Haley would like to attend Chemeketa Community College and then transfer to a university where she will pursue her interests in the medical field, specifically psychology and pharmacy. Haley would like to express her gratitude to her family for supporting her through everything. Haley Walling. Meadow Wheaton. Meadow is from McNary High School. She is the daughter of Monica Cooper and John Wheaton, and the granddaughter of Maxine and Gary Stafford. Meadow is from the Nez Perce tribe. While attending high school, Meadow was involved in roller derby with the Cherry City Derby Girls, was in McNary's Flash Fiction Club, and published a book. She plans on continuing on to college, learning pro wrestling, going skydiving, and playing roller derby. Meadow would like to thank Phyllis Penny, her great-grandmother. Meadow Wheaton. I proudly present to you Indian Education's graduating class of 2015. Bud Lane, will you please come forward? Bud will bless the food for a reception that is being held in the cafeteria after the retirement of the flags. And please be sure to honor elders and allow them to be served first. And now please stand for the blessing and then the retiring of the flags directly afterwards.
Creator, we ask that you bless the food that we're about to consume. We always give you thanks for providing us with food and clean water to drink, and we ask your blessing on this to sustain our bodies. We also ask and give thanks, blessing and give thanks for the hands that prepared it. Amen.